Aha! Looks like I'm the new hot King Kong toy around here. My only competition being my predecessors from Playmates, those overpriced SHMA figures, and of course, that one Bandai vinyl that no one ever buys. Oh, and I hear Mezco figures coming out, but who cares about Mezco anymore? All hail Playmates Kong! Huh? That's for messing with NECA and their Godzilla license. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another figure review. My name is Matthew, and today we are taking a look at the Funky Monkey himself. That's right. After so long, after so many years of trying to find this guy online or in stores that I actually could afford at the time, I finally have him. In fact, I actually have two of them. Yeah, Christmas present, duplicate, and that stuff happened, but I mean, it's alright. Today we're taking a look at the NECA King Kong himself. This is a figure that's been on my mind for a little bit now, and I finally have the original. Ironically, despite being the first one that released, he was the last one I was missing to complete the whole collection. So, let's see if NECA King Kong is a worthy addition to your collection. So for the sculpt and paint, I gotta hand it to NECA. They knew exactly what they were doing when they made this Kong. Now, I must also note, this is not based on any particular design of Kong. NECA has gone on record and stated that this is a 100% new design that they themselves came up with for Kong. And let me tell you, I'm digging it. So for this, we're going to be reviewing this guy as is out of the box. So for the head, it's goofy. Yes, but the head here kind of is more inspired or based on the 1933 head sculpt. But as you can see, the eyes are actually painted really well. Like, you can see that they have a lot of nice detailing to them, as well as a nice kind of gray dry brushing around the eyes. The nostrils are actually well sculpted, which is words I never thought I'd say. Probably said that about Godzilla figures in the past, though. So who am I to say? The teeth are actually pretty decently painted. They're not badly done at all. The the mouth itself is actually painted really well with the. It's hard to tell, but there's actually some color variation on the tongue compared to the gums itself, because the gums are much more blood red, if that makes any sense. As if he just consumed a bunch of blood then gargled it. Then again, there would be blood all over his teeth, as if he brushed his teeth too hard. But his tongue is actually slightly pink or purple, kind of magenta-ish. And if you look really closely at towards the back of the throat, I think, am I just going insane? Yeah, I think I'm just going insane. I could have sworn I saw like a throat hole in there or something, like sculpted in there. But yeah, everything else is just sculpted really well. It's very glossy, of course, because, saliva. The fur pattern is actually really well done. It actually has a lot of nice sculpted kind of detail to it. Of course, the spray they use is a bit inconsistent. Like, you have this big blob of gray here, which is the solid body sculpt. And then here you have much more grays around it as opposed to, like, actually on it. Of course, kind of, like, fades in like this. And, of course, you get to the kind of the feet here. And then they're actually, once again, painted and sculpted really well. Here we have it like his fist just ready to punch somebody, probably either Godzilla or some dinosaurs. Heck, even maybe the skull crawlers or the pit monster, pterodactyls, planes. You can pretty much punch anything. Hopefully it'll actually be able to be in effect. I think, however, the main thing that steals the show, for me at least, are these freshly open cut wounds on Kong. Look at how realistic this looks. I really hope someone at NECA didn't accidentally cut themselves and said we should do this, because that would just be so dark. But this straight up looks like real blood. Like, this could literally fool somebody. I'm not even joking. But you can just see how, like, cut they are. Of course, the chest, the man boobs, are indeed painted gray. and they're actually done pretty dang well. So obviously, for the shoulders as well, kind of continues those very nice kind of gray brown kind of look, and then it kind of goes over. I think they did it better on this arm than this arm because this one just has like a huge, it almost looks like a stripe of gray, where here it's just this is how it should normally look. So yeah, you kind of see it's kind of like hit or miss on a lot of parts, but I ain't gonna take points off of it because I don't think much people will notice that because of how dark of a cuff figure a lot of this is. So for the NECA Kong, I think this is actually a pretty well done figure for Sculpt and Paint. Articulation. Let's see how well this guy poses. For the head, he actually moves on a ball joint, which he can move up about, I want to say that far, down about that far, rotate from side to side, and of course can shift from side to side. I do think if you move it too far, you do see the ball joint, but I mean, you can just kind of adjust it from there and close it. No jaw articulation on this one, at least. You know where I'm referencing. Shoulder hinges. It's a weird joint system. See, there's two joints here and here, but they all function together and help each other out. So it's like a swivel hinge combo for here, and then a bicep swivel for here. At least I think it's a bicep swivel. Is it just a basic swivel? I think it's just a basic swivel. So yeah, we have a bicep swivel here. Double jointed elbows, which I think you can actually bend in about, I want to say this far, and then straighten up about that far. Hold on. Yeah, move up about that far, down about that far. Yeah, okay. And then you can obviously do full 360s with this. Although the bicep swivels feel kind of odd. They feel as if they have ratchets, but they don't actually. And of course here, they have swivel hinge combos, and the range is decent. I mean, you can get some decent knuckle poses, although the knuckles aren't really something you would be like playing around with. The abs, however, the abdomen crunch, ab crunch, there we go, kind of is unlimited at the very least. Like, just look at this. This is sick. You can go bend in about that far, out about that far, can shift to the side like that. For the legs here, they are on ratchets, unlike the biceps, so you do get like some clicks. However, the clicks on this one are a lot softer. Like, they aren't as apparent, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I think it's 5. I mean, if you want to push it, you can get a 6, but alright, so, okay, there you go, there's the clicks. But moving back, you can get this far of a... You are going to be able to get some more range out of the legs because the butt flaps are actually made of like a much more rubberized, flexible material, so they don't get in the way of the posability, although I probably wouldn't suggest displaying it like this for long periods of time because it is a much more flexible material, it can easily warp. So you might twist it back, then all of a sudden you have this hole in the butt, a butthole, if you will. Of course, you can spread outside and kind of swivel inside the socket. Actually, I think it's better to show it with this one. There you go. Kind of swivel inside of it. Although something to be aware of is that this is actually connected on a different joint to this joint, and then this joint plugs into the body itself. So there's two different joints, and so you might have like a bit of disalignment every so now and then. So always just beware of the legs. Of course, the knees bend in about that far, straighten up about that far. So they basically function like normal human, or I guess in this case gorilla or monkey or mammal legs. But the feet are like really weird at first. Like, you might think that they just do like a basic rotation, and they do, but it's on its axis. And so it kind of goes at like an angle. Think of it like the NECA Godzilla hips. It goes at like an angle, but I realized that they use this to their advantage, so that way when you spread the legs out, you can actually get Kong like stretching out his legs like this, and have him like on the ground like that for more dynamic poses. So technically, I guess that also counts as a foot pivot, but there's also a hinge in there which allows for some additional up and down movement. So I would say the articulation on Kong here is definitely a win, and I definitely do think that there are a lot of good joints, and I overall think it's probably the best articulated Kong you can get on the market right now, at least articulation-wise. If history were to repeat itself, much like his NECA Godzilla cousins, you would realize that it's pretty standard for NECA Godzillas to come with either no accessories or a beam effect. Pretty much either or. Unfortunately, Kong does not come with any accessories. Psych! Got you there. Kong actually does come with a few accessories. He actually comes with an alternate head, which, from what I have heard, this is a different design altogether. And while I do agree with that, because like if you take a look at the teeth size and arrangement, you'll definitely see that the teeth on the alternate head are a bit more spread out, and the teeth, like the jaw itself, is much more squared off, while this one is much more rounded off, if that makes any sense. Not to mention, you can definitely see like the canines are way bigger on these suckers. Also, the teeth are tiny bit more spread out on this one than they are this one. And also, goes without mentioning, the eye color. One looks like a normal Kong. This one looks like it's been staring at the sun for too long and just realized it. So to put the head on, all you just need to do is to lightly, hopefully, come on, there we go, take off the head, and of course it connects on a ball joint, barbell style ball joint, that is. So then you're going to want to plug in like this, and I've done it a few times, so it's a bit more easier for me, but do beware that if you're having trouble, use a hairdryer on the socket, which means go towards the head. If you don't do that, then chances are you're probably just going to just shear off that ball joint. But once you have it all said and done, that is some mean Kong expressions in there. Look at that. I heard some talks that this was the Kong Skull Island face. And honestly, I don't really see Kong Skull Island. I don't really see the Monsterverse. I just see a NECA Kong. If that makes any sense. Because this is a NECA Kong, so yeah. But wait, there's more accessories. If you realize Kong is closing his fists, that is because Kong actually comes with his own set of splayed hands, which don't really like do anything aside from more more expression. So to peg this on, all you just have to do is take Kong's arm and just start. I personally just like to tug both sides and give the hand like a little swivel. And if that's not working for you, like it isn't working for me, hold on. Yeah, this is, I'm gonna cut. Ah, man, that actually kind of hurt my hand to do. But yeah, so once you got it all done, Kong's, the peg should look like this, and if the peg does not look like that, that means you broke it. So yeah, everything is connected like this. Take the corresponding hand, in this case it's the right hand, and just give that thing a good old shove. Now remember, again, if you're having trouble, do not be afraid to use a hairdryer. I personally would avoid using hot water, as that can actually peel off the paint and cause some paint problems, but there you go. Kong's hand is ready to go, and you still retain that hinge joint motion that you get from the wrists, and I freaking hate all the hands rolling around my desk. So, when it's all said and done, I definitely do think the accessories are pretty good for what you get. I mean, 2 hands, a head for what apparently is a different design, I'm all for it. I definitely do think, though, that they could have probably done something else, like in addition to this, because later Kong releases for the same price point would come with more. So I definitely do think that they probably shot themselves in the foot by doing that, but I mean, this is still a rather rock solid pack of accessories. So for some size comparisons, here he is next to the Mezco's King Kong of Skull Island and the Playmates King Kong 2021 with Battle Axe from Godzilla vs. Kong. And as you can see, he is definitely the tallest of the three, And ironically, he's actually cheaper than this guy, which I kind of find a little weird in some cases, but I mean, to be honest, it's probably worth the purchase. And here he is next to some other funky monkeys I have on the shelf, featuring the Playmates 2005 King Kong, which I think came with like the Statosaurus Rex, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the Kong from that set, and the Playmates Kong Skull Island first original version, because the other versions would contain a reissue with new, slightly updated packaging with Kong on the side in new paint schemes, and the other one would be the Ferocious Kong from the MonsterVerse series line, which is an absolute must get for anybody. And for some more size comparisons, here he is next to some miscellaneous King Kong merch with the U2's Kong on Throne from Godzilla vs. Kong, the Playmates minifigure, first edition of the Kong figure, and the Funko Pop Kong with Battle Axe figure. And for some Godzilla size comparisons, here he is next to some Playmates Godzilla figures with the Godzilla 2004 and the Battle Roar Godzilla, which is a bit bigger than the other ones, and some NECA Godzilla figures with the 2003 Godzilla and the 2014 Godzilla. Still my all-time favorite figure in the entire collection. And what I will say is, if you're looking for any of the NECA Godzillas to scale with your NECA Kong, undoubtedly it's the 2003 figure. This and the Hyper Maser Blast versions will be the perfect companion to your Kong. And here he is next to all of the other NECA King Kongs that they have released so far. All four of them. So, I definitely will say, I'm putting them all side by side together just so I don't get people asking me, which one's which? It's just, let me just spell it out. Original poster version, or illustrated version, based on the old comic series, I forget the name of, Fantastic Monsters of Filmland or something like that. The Skull Island version and the Concrete Jungle version, which do I personally think is the one that deserves to be bought? I'm actually going to be doing a figure comparison pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that one. But I definitely will just say this right now. If you're looking for accessories only, like realistically, go with one of these two. These two come with the exact same accessories, just painted differently. And these two come with the exact same accessories these ones come with, kinda, but just way more. So definitely pick your poison, I guess. So, what do I overall think of this figure? It's amazing. No cap. Honestly, no cap. I know not much people like to hear me say that word, but it's just the truth. This is actually a really great figure. I've wanted this for a long time, and I think it was worth it. It was worth the wait this whole dang time. Do I think there are flaws? Yes, absolutely. But I think with enough finagling and expectations, those flaws can be pretty much remedied. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys liked it, definitely subscribe to the channel. Jesus loves you. God bless you all. Go out there and spread the gospel. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace out, everyone.